Welcome to my channel. It's a new day and we're going to do more videos. Matter of fact, I've got 7 of them for you. I've got 1 bonus video and 6 requested reactions. So let's get started. Before we do that though, I do want to thank you for coming here and for watching my videos. I really appreciate your support. You've made my channel, you blew it up from nothing to 23,000 subscribers. It's astounding to me. It really is. And I can only thank you. And don't forget, I always put the artist links in the description of my videos so you can support them as well. And I put the link to the reaction request form so you can request reactions if you want them. So without further ado, this is today's bonus video, and it's Dax singing his new release, From a Man's Perspective. Okay.
I don't know why you're making such a big deal about it. Stop acting like a bitch.
You don't call somebody out of the name like that if you don't respect them. Don't start approaching me. I already told you. Don't start approaching me. Then I'll leave then. Then I'll leave. Then I'll leave then.
Thought we were forever, that was a mistake. You wrote it down in pencil, guess it got erased. Drawing on my weakness, look what you create. A masterpiece of everything you taught yourself to hate. I had to log off, your passwords changed. You always tried to run, I wasn't down to chase. Your trauma made you numb, I tried to give you faith. You took my kindness and threw it right back in my face. Ashamed to say I loved you and it hurts me cause I actually tried. Your truth was based off of lies. Your love was conditional and mine forgave you multiple times. That's why I had to finally walk away. It hurt me to leave, but was killing me to stay. The story of my life, this chapter and page is getting ripped out and thrown in emotional flames. To be honest, I don't hate you, this is my only way to grieve. What you want isn't always what you need. I remember days I'd beg and I'd plead for you to just calm down and provide me with peace. Your words used to hurt me, they would bring me to my knees. Called me pathetic, trash, weak. So I got strong, got back on my feet, picked you up off the sidewalk, threw you back to the streets. I don't wanna talk about those times that you lied. Don't wanna talk about those times that I cried. Don't wanna talk about those times you denied all the truths that I spewed that I knew deep inside. The pressure I was feeling that was right up to my neck. The anxiety, depression that was weighing on my chest. The constant allegations, the blatant disrespect. The time that I lost or the money that I spent. I was going crazy, I was a shell of a man. Trapped in your cage, lost in your maze. Blinded by love, addicted to the pain. The highs and the lows, the storm and the rain. I started therapy to cope because you drove me insane. Gassed me right up, then emptied my tank. So don't you try to spin the block when you see I'm doing greater. That I'm happy or I got another woman in your place. Because I gave you too many chances to understand that pain sounds different when it's coming from a man. We not allowed to feel, be real, explain, express. And when we do, we lose the upper hand. We only have value based on what we can provide. I spoke your love language, you didn't understand mine. You pushed me to the edge, played like you were blind. And then you blamed all of your actions on your zodiac sign. Never again.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? You know, Dax has done several pieces like this where he talks about the man's perspective. And I think it's too often lost in the shuffle of daily life. One of the things that strikes me about this is that when two people fall in love, they're like crazy. They've completely lost common sense, and they can't get enough of each other. They just want to be with each other all the time. And then they decide to form a life together, and all of a sudden they're at each other's throats. And I think there's obviously a number of reasons for that, but one of the major reasons is that you lose sight of the love that you had at first, and you lose sight of the commitment that you made, and you start thinking about yourself. And when you get selfish, you take it out on other people, and that's what happens in relationships. And far too often we give up on them because we don't want to fight for it anymore. We don't feel like it has value. And that's sad, because it had value when you started, didn't it? I mean, there was a reason you got together to begin with. And so I think that's where your focus needs to be, is what was it that drew us together from the beginning, and what can we do to get back to that attraction and back to that love and that concern that we had for each other before life started getting in the way. Excuse me. I just think it's, I've said this a number of times. We live in what I call a McDonald's society. We expect to pull up to the window and get what we ordered, and it has to be hot and ready to go, or we'll go somewhere else. And we treat our relationships like that. Instead of being willing to put effort into them and put value, add value to them, we treat them as if they're fast food. And if they don't satisfy us, we move on. We go to the next one. And some people do it over and over and over again and never find happiness. And I think part of the reason why they don't find happiness is because they're not willing to work for it. They're not willing to pay the price that it takes to have a good relationship. Yes, there's going to be fights. Yes, there's going to be disagreements. Yes, there's going to be times when you just can't get along, where it's difficult to be in the same room with someone. But it's all up here. It's all in the mind. You have to get your mind right and convince yourself that this is worth saving, and that there was value there from the very beginning, and so there's value now. Now, excuse me, not every relationship is like that. I mean, some relationships are just so toxic that they do need to end. But there's a lot of relationships that, if you don't put in the work, if you don't pay the price to make it work, you'll regret it later. Just my thoughts. An interesting song. And, Dax's lyrics is always excellent, outstanding. I mean, he can definitely write a verse, can't he? I mean, he is one of a kind. And that's the reason why he's one of my featured artists. Whenever I do a bonus video, if he releases something new, I'm going to do it. So I hope you enjoyed that. I pray that God will watch over you and take care of you just as he does me, and that your life will be as wonderful as mine is. And I pray that same thing for every single person that you love. This is the Vietnam Era Vet, out.